Hello and welcome to back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host Keith Weissite. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. However you may be joining us, thanks for tuning in. And always glad to welcome back to the program Brennan Mathern, the Public Information Officer with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. Welcome, Brennan.
Hey, great. Thanks for having us again.
I see we're still sporting that nice bearded look.
Yes, and we've raised a ton of money for local charities, as well as the American Cancer Society and the Special Olympics Torch Run.
Wow, fantastic. So a huge shout out and thank you to all of your brethren who are doing that. We certainly appreciate it and the effort that it takes to do that. As a man with a beard for many years, I can tell you it gets itchy when we let it get long. So we appreciate it. But look, man, y'all got a lot of things going on, which we are always thankful for. But let's talk a little bit about some of the holiday safety that's important this time of year.
Well, I think the most important thing is for people over the next few weeks, they'll be shopping. Obviously, they'll continue their Christmas shopping and look to finish that before Christmas Eve or by Christmas Eve. And, we just like to share a few of the common shopping tips that we have for people to keep themselves safe. Obviously, we're dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, and there's a lot of people in need in our community. Unfortunately, some scam artists are going to take note of that and try to take advantage of people. You are likely to encounter while shopping people approach you in parking lots and ask you for change or cash or that sort of thing is up to you. But the worst thing that you could encounter is that someone coming up to you with a check and they're offering a check for cash, and they may even offer you to write a check for more money than the cash that they're asking for. Well, obviously, the intent there in most cases is that that's going to be a bad check, and you're going to be giving them cash and getting nothing in return except for a bad check. So be careful of that. Obviously, if they want to cash a check, there's plenty of legal means for them to do so. They don't need to bother you. So be cognizant of that. Just like we would for trick-or-treating, we encourage people to stay off your phones, especially while you're walking from the store to your car and vice versa. But when you're walking from the store, you have those purchases in your buggy. You may have kids with you. You may have a lot of distractions, including your phone. The phone is the worst one because that's when scammers will, and con artists will be looking around and they'll realize that your attention is divided and not paying attention to the things in your cart and your purchases. And they may try to approach you and swindle you, or they may just outright steal those things. We haven't had reports of this happening yet, but again, this is just to make sure that people are aware of their surroundings. One of the best things, and the thing that I do when my wife and I are Christmas shopping, is always before you leave the home, throw a couple of blankets in the car. Those dark colored blankets will help you to cover those purchases, especially those expensive items, so that you're not essentially advertising what products you have in the back of your car. Again, we don't have a ton of vehicle break-ins, but again, it's just a good practice that you don't advertise what you have. And in the same way, once Christmas morning is done, don't put those big, TV boxes out by the curbside. Break them down, put them in a container of some sort and in your trash receptacle, because again, you don't want to advertise what high priced items you have inside your home.
Awesome, great tips, Brennan. We appreciate it very much. And speaking of the shopping and the holiday season, let's talk a little bit about this bike giveaway. This is awfully exciting.
Yeah, so this is our 28th year. We've given away nearly 5,000 bikes over the course of the several few years that we've been doing this. I've been involved since I've been here 10 years ago, and now I've taken over the program this year. And in talking with Sheriff Weber, we wanted to make a few little improvements this year. First of all, we're for the most part giving new bikes or like new bikes. In the past, we were able to fix up some of those used bikes and present them to kids, but we really want kids to be able to have something special for Christmas, especially for those that are getting a bike for a Christmas gift. So we're trying to keep it to new bikes only, or like I said, like new bikes. And we've had some generous donations from the community for us to be able to buy that. This year, we're actually working with Bless Your Heart nonprofit and a group called HERE, which had identified over 1,600 what they call Ida kids that had lost a lot from the storm. And we basically took that list, pared it down to about 100 kids from Lafourche that specifically asked for bicycles for Christmas. So we've been able to fulfill that. We're actually in the process of purchasing those bikes now. We have about 20 left. But it's been really awesome to be able to go to a store and purchase, 30 bikes, 30 brand new bikes, and know that we're going to give those to kids and then tag them and get them ready. And we'll be delivering those bikes sometime later next week, right before Christmas, so that parents can put them under the tree.
Well, what a fantastic idea. And the fact that you guys are so well organized to be able to do that and be able to get access to the bikes. We know that right now it's difficult to get things. And the fact that you were able to do that is so very exciting. So very much appreciated in doing that. Have y'all had any difficulty? Have y'all had to kind of find a way to kind of get more of those bikes and really kind of extend to see where you can get them from?
Thankfully, our local supply has been able to keep up with the demand. And look, a lot of people are buying bikes to give away. We've tried to buy them outside of the immediate communities to allow parents to buy bikes for their kids for Christmas too, as well. I had reached out to a number of bike manufacturers knowing that we were going to have potentially have issues, and none of them were able to help us directly by, some direct purchasing or shipping. So we did anticipate that and plan for it, but it looks like we're going to be fine, and we're going to be able to get all the bikes that we have. So essentially, Santa's IDA Christmas list for kids will be fulfilled when we are able to get over 100 new bikes for those kids for Christmas.
You're going to bring so much joy to so many people, Brendan. I can't thank you enough. It's fantastic. We'll talk a little bit about it after the holiday and see how the program went. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, and thanks to the community for supporting programs like this at the Sheriff's Office.
Absolutely. And again, that's Brendan Mathern, Public Information Officer. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, we're going to take another short break, and don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming when we continue.